Now we're going to work on the intersections between the main road and the entrance road. Go ahead and launch Power Civil. This time we're going to get into a different design file inside Chapter 4 of our project folder. We're going to go into intersections.dgn. There's a save view. If not zoomed in to the northern intersection, we can recall that save view called north intersection, and that'll zoom us into the area that we need to be at. And so we're going to focus our attention on the north intersection, and then we'll move and do the same process on the southern intersection. We need to go ahead and get into our site project, our Site Modeler project, so we'll launch Site Modeler. And at the project wizard we'll browse and we'll select intersections.gsf in our Chapter 4 folder. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to take the edge of pavement extension that we created when we created the main road, and we want to add that to the entrance road. We can do this through a tool called Element Information, and it's the last icon on the Elements icon palette. I'll click the I button or the Select Element button. Select that graphic that represents the edge of pavement extension, and we'll notice that's a boundary. It has elevation on it. There's several vertices, and under the Objects tab we notice that it's part of Main Road. We're going to go ahead and add it to another object called Entrance Road, so I'll click the Add Object icon, and I'll select Entrance Road from the available objects list. So this element will become part of two objects. Click Update and save my changes to that element. Now Geopack will go ahead and reprocess the model, and you may notice that it takes a little while, and that's due to the fact that our entrance road, when we created it, it has several curb and gutter sections on it, but also our temp object. We created our temp object for the parking lot based on the entrance road, and then we created the parking lot based on the temp object. So there's a lot of things that downstream that have to update as well when I make a change to the entrance road. Now if I don't want to wait for that process every time I make a change to the entrance road, well then I can turn off associations for now. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and zoom back out to the area of the parking lot, and that line that we laid down, that was the green dashed line that's part of the temp 1 object. Let's info that element and go to the Associations tab. Under Associations we can see that it references the entrance road, and we'll turn that off. So now it won't update every time the entrance road updates, and therefore nothing downstream of it will update as well. So I'll click Update, say yes to my changes, and then I'll just go back to my entrance road and main road intersection. Now I need to go ahead and create the edges of pavement between the two roads as elements and add a curb and gutter section. So let's do that, but let's add all those elements to the entrance road object. So I need to make the entrance road object my active object, and I can do that from my active object control bar. I'll select entrance road, and that becomes my active object. So in order to create new elements, we'll grab the Elements New Edit tool, the first icon in our palette there, and we'll use the Drape on Model object. I want to drape the curb returns down on the model. but I only want to get elevation at each end. I want the elevation of the entrance road at one end and the elevation of the main road at the other end. The only thing that has those two elevations together would be the model tower. So I'll select Drape Option Vertices, so it only calculates elevation at the end points of the arc. I'll toggle on Power Selector so that I can select both curb returns together. And I'll click Apply. Now I want to go ahead and add a curb and gutter section to those elements. So I'll switch to the Section tab, and you'll notice it has the raised curb section from when I did the parking lot, and I need a curb and gutter section. So I'll query, using the query option, I'll query an element that has a section on it that would match what I want. So I query section, I'll select the edge of pavement, and it fills out the table with my desired section. It will be a boundary. I'll go ahead and have Power Selector turned on still. I'll select the two edges of pavement. So we'll select both edges of pavement and then set the direction to the outside for the section. So I'll click Set, come down into MicroStation, and data point to set the direction outside the edge of pavement. At this point I can click Apply, and the curb and gutter will be added to those elements. And of course you should notice that it should update a lot faster once we turn associations off. So now the next step will be to kind of profile along the edge of pavement there through the curb return and profile it the way I want it to be.